again, good friends. Welcome new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. Today is going to be just a short video. I want to show you how to remove sags or curtains or runs. And this could be from freshly painted vehicles or even older cars. Somebody bought a car, it has a run in it, and they want you to remove it. As you start to expand your services, this is something you may run into. So I'll show you how to do it. You could put it in your arsenal and you can have it available. Let's get going. Today we're working on a 1930 Ford Model A, single stage lacquer, and it's been repainted a few times. We're here to fix the imperfections in the paint and remove these sags or curtains or runs or whatever you want to call them. There's probably about 7 or 8 all the way around the vehicle, and besides all the other imperfections, we're going to target those as well. Something to keep in mind when you're correcting something like this is there are owners that want to keep it authentic, and then there are owners who want to over-restore. And what I mean by that is thinking about a 1930 coupe running around the streets. The finish in that time period was not perfectly flat like a mirror. So the finish had some texture, and to be authentic, you want to correct these spots and these imperfections, yet leave a natural look behind for that time period. It's a balance. You need to acquire some, experience. It's hard to train for it, so experience working on these types of vehicles does help. All right, so let's start right here. We're going to start on these two sags, the two runs. We're going to remove those first, and then I'll go around later and correct the other blemishes. The tools to get this job done: I'm going to break out the razor blade for the first part of this. Works on fresh paint and older paint the same. Alright, so just for a visual, if this would be the run, which is out further than the level of the painted surface, the razor blade with the tape on either side to protect from edges also lifts it up a micron or two, and when you're scraping the top of the sag itself, the tape will keep the sharp edge of the razor blade slightly elevated from the surface of the paint, just giving you the scrape you need on the run or the sag. Okay, so there's a run up here, and I'm going to record this one up here first because it'll give you a little bit of a better view with the lighting. And it sounds harsh, and it sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me, especially with paint, but it is very effective. The only thing besides scraping the top of the sag and leveling this thing out, there will be some rub marks from the tape itself. No need to worry about those. They polish out, and they will be gone with the following steps we use on this area. Let me grab the camera, bring you guys in close, and you can see just how effective this can be when used properly, shaving the peak of this run or this sag off, leaving behind the base or the rest of the panel that's level, and we can go to the next step, which is going to be 1500 grit sandpaper, wet sand, and attach it to a firm block. So if I was just using the foam block that I normally use, it would contour with the run, and I would be sanding both the surface of the paint and the top of the sag. I don't want that. I just want to be sanding the sag itself or the run, so that block will keep everything nice and straight, and you'll just be sanding away at that sag until you get down to the level of the paint. And you just have to go a little bit, check your work. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see some shiny areas here and here, and the sandpaper will gently touch this area, but it will not do a lot of removal. So that's a good way to keep track of your work, keep track of progress. All right, so we're going to get some moisture on the area, spray the block as well. If you're doing a lot of sanding, you want to keep a continuous flow of water to keep the sandpaper itself clear, to keep it effective. But you want to keep that block as flat as you can, get a nice firm grip. Now, you don't want a ton of pressure. You just want to slide the block back and forth and work on that sag. If you apply too much pressure, you're going to start sanding the rest of the area as well. So we're going to flush the residue off of the area, clean it up, and check our work. All right, so this is exactly where we want to be, except for one little spot I have to go back over. There's going to be a little bit of a shadow, or there's going to be a ghost of the run itself. You'll see the sag will not be protruding from the level area, but you're going to see a ghost, and there's a little bit to remove right here. I'll hit that with the 1500 before we move on, but the next few steps will remove the rest of the imperfection and make it look gorgeous again. So we're going to do that step. We're going to go all the way around the car and complete that step, and we're going to move on to the next step. This is the area on the driver's door. It had two sags right on top of each other, here and here. We have removed them. The area is now level. Time to move to 2000 grit. This is the second step. We're going to moisten the area, spray the block as well. And what we're going to be doing is starting to blend. We've corrected the area. We're where we want to be there. Now we want to start removing the harsh sanding marks from the 1500. We're going to use the 2000 for that. Make the area just a little bit larger, the surface area or the working area you were at, and this will blend in. I have explained this process in other older wet sanding videos if you want to revisit them, but you definitely don't want to do all your steps over the same area. It will make it will draw some attention to the area, especially if you have texture, and then it just suddenly goes to an area that has no texture whatsoever. All right, so the last step, we're going to make an area even larger yet to blend in, and we're going to step down to the 3000 grit, and this will make it that we can just jump to a fine polish, a pad that's not very aggressive, so I'm going to grab the open cell foam pad. We'll be on the area for a short time. We will not raise the temperature in that area. This is some paint we want to keep in pristine condition after removing the defects, so just something to keep in mind. As you can see here, we're making the area probably 2 to 3 inches larger than the last step, and this is continuing the blending process. And as I bring you guys a little closer, each step you'll notice more clarity, less and less haze. The sags are gone, the ghost, the shadows are gone, and we're ready for that last step. And that's going to be an open cell polishing pad, and we'll use 3D1. I pretty much use this for just about everything except for fine finishing these days. It does everything you need it to do. Give it a good shake, 3 or 4 pea-sized drops, tap it out, spread out the product, and do a crisscross pattern, up and down, then left to right. Stop and check your work. That is going to do it, and you're going to see the transfer of that single stage onto the pad. Something you're going to have to clean between every pass. Keep the pad clean. Keep that open cell pad. Keep the holes and the cells open so the pad has airflow and it keeps the area cooler. And there we go, and I have the rest of the car now to do. Okay, guys, really no big deal at all. It looks a lot worse than it really is. The only thing you want to keep in mind, be mindful of, if there's a sag, it's been repainted. So how much product did they give you? How thick is the clear coat? How thick of a layer did they lay down of the single stage, such as the one we were working out there? That's something you want to do a little research and find out if you can, just to see how far down you can go with it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.